Hello, welcome to Madness Breakdown. I'm Anthony Baldini, and joining me today from North Texas, the UConn representative for our site, Tim Fontenault. Tim, glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So, can you describe the scene at AT&T Stadium? You got out there today. How was it?
It was really busy. The first day of press conferences, talked to all the coaches, each team, talked to a couple players. They didn't really give us locker room availability or anything, but that's all going to be tomorrow. Just a couple practices today. They announced Doug McDermott as the player of the year, Greg Marshall as the coach of the year, and found out that there's 1,300 credentialed media for this, so it's going to be a big event. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you have a Player of the Year candidate yourself in Shabazz Napier. How do you rank him among the best in the nation this year?
Well, I think McDermott was always going to get the award, and obviously he had a fantastic season. I'm surprised that it was as unanimous as it was. It was 64-1 with Russ Smith, the other vote in the AP. He had such an incredible year. He was the player of the year in the American. Everything he's done this year has just been it's been one amazing thing after another. Every shot he's made, every moment that he stepped up, and even when it looks like he's having a bad game, he's gonna do something, and you're gonna be like, okay, he's one of the best players in the country for a reason, and he's a big reason why they're here right now.
Absolutely. So, besides Shabazz, how else have the Huskies been able to make it this far in the tournament? You guys just came off a great win against Michigan State. Overall, through the couple games, have you seen anything that stood out as, hey, this is the reason that we're really here?
Well, there's a big difference between where this team is now and where they were 4 weeks ago when they lost by 33 points to end the regular season at Louisville. After that game, Kevin Ollie sat them all down. They thought they were going to be watching film from the Louisville game. Instead, he actually pulled out the film from the game for a second with that Napier buzzer beater. He said that he really just wanted to show that this team wasn't going to be defined by that 33-point loss, that there was room for improvement, that's all they were really focusing on. So he showed them what they did right against Florida, things they could work on because that's what the tournament was going to be all about. So they threw the end of the regular season out. They had a great conference tournament. Obviously, they ended up losing to Louisville in the title game, but they played a lot better than we saw at the end of the season. And then you get into the NCAA tournament, and it was March basketball, which I've said all along. UConn is built for these March runs. Every game is close. Every game is tight, and that's where UConn thrives. They like to get down and dirty. They like to play gritty, and obviously they love the clutch moments. Guys like Shabazz Napier, and it's not just him. The supporting cast has been huge for them. DeAndre Daniels has brought his game to another level as he usually does at the 17, and he's tied with Niels Giffey at 6.8 rebounds per game in the tournament. He's been a monster, and if there's anyone on this team that deserves credit besides Shabazz, it's definitely him.
Okay, so now what's it going to take to get past Florida this time? If you have
Well, this
another
is
close game like you had in December, is that something that we could see again, or is it going to be a whole new ball game?
I think we're going to see two different teams, obviously two teams that have gone in completely different routes since that game, but it's going to be another tight game. It's going to be down to the wire, and for UConn to win, their defense is going to have to continue to be amazing as it has throughout this tournament. Florida's a team that can turn the ball over easily, and with UConn up in your face, they've got that great guard play from Shabazz Napier, Ryan Boatwright. You throw another guy in there like Lasan Chroma, who's been a defensive maestro for them all year. They're going to pressure those Florida fans. They've stolen the ball, I believe, 30 times in this tournament. They've forced a lot of turnovers, and that's going to be a big key for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So this morning, Kemba went on television and was saying that this team is a little bit resemblance of his championship squad. And Shabazz, he says, is better than he was back then. You've been a proponent that this team is kind of a mirror image of 2011. Can you go into detail on that?
I think it's the same in that, you look at a lot of times the team that ends up winning the national championship, it's usually one of the teams that's, very talented, very deep, and, a lot of times you kind of expected them to be there. There's always that instance or two where something crazy happens and it's not. But standout teams where it just screams talent like a Louisville or a Florida or a Kentucky. this team, they get there through the way they play as a team, and that's exactly how UConn got there in 2011. And obviously, you had Kemba Walker, who was incredible. He took part in 45% of UConn scoring plays, and that's what Shabazz does now. But we saw in the 2011 tournament, that's where Shabazz really started to get going as that second option at guard. We saw Jeremy Lamb start to really step up, and obviously he did great things the next year. Alex Oriaki was huge for them. And the same thing this year. You got DeAndre Daniels stepping up, Ryan Boatwright. If Niels Giffey could start hitting a three as he's so good at doing in this tournament, then this could be a very, very dangerous team and a very tough out.
Well, it sounds like you guys have things maybe figured out on how to get past Florida. Who's the best opponent possible to come out of the other matchup on the other side between Wisconsin and Kentucky?
I didn't catch up. I'm sorry.
Between Wisconsin and Kentucky, who would you guys rather face, or does it not even matter at this point?
Personally, I don't think it matters. I mean, obviously, some people would say that Wisconsin is the weaker of those two teams, but they've got that really big inside presence in Kaminsky, who is just giving people nightmares throughout this tournament. Obviously, with Kentucky, you got the really talented players that are really starting to come together right now. But it really doesn't matter. You look at what UConn's done, and they've done some things that they shouldn't have done. Like, people didn't expect them to do in this tournament. They shut down DeAndre Kane and Melvin Edgem. They shut down Adrian Payne and Brendan Dawson. This is a team that's really not afraid to play anybody right now.
So it seems like you have a team that plays on emotions. You've been there on the sideline this year. Is UConn a team that really wears their heart on their sleeves, or do they internalize it? And how is that going to affect, your youth and your experience that you have on the squad? How do you see it all tying together?
You're going to see a brotherhood out there. This is a team that is so much different than the 2011-2012 team, Jim Calhoun's last year, where there was no chemistry. All that talent, they could have won the national title, but they had no chemistry whatsoever. Kevin Ollie takes over as coach, and he builds this brotherhood. These guys, you got 5 guys together, and instead of letting the postseason ban and the conference realignment, instead of letting that all get them down, they've really united under it. And you see the brotherhood on the sidelines. You see these guys caring for each other, helping each other. And I think that's been a big reason why they've gone as far as they did, because they're a team that, like you said, plays with their heart on their sleeve, and they've got this never say die attitude. They don't care who they're going up against. They always feel we're UConn, we can win any game we play, and that's been a really big factor for them getting to the Final Four.
Well, it sounds like a top-notch team. Obviously, they have something going right for them if they got to the Final Four. It's a team that has a great history, really. And they play this Saturday at 6 Eastern on CBS, so looking forward to it. Good luck to you, Tim, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.